Hello and welcome back to Sticking in the Mixer, the new podcast where anything can happen, and it normally does. I'm Chris and I'm here with Cam and Glenn. How we doing, boys? You okay?
Aye, very good. Glad to be back.
I
Good.
just wanted to say like a quiet. I was just going to leave him hanging there.
I thought
I was
the
trying to
mic
be polite.
went off.
Just go like, yeah.
Pretend we're frozen. Like,
I think it's welcome back to Glenn. How we doing, buddy?
aye, all right.
How was the run?
Long. It was very warm, but it was unreal. Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'll be gutted if I don't get it next year. Sorry.
Give us a little feel of what it was like. Obviously, and let the listeners know what it was that you actually done.
So obviously ran the London Marathon, but and in the build-up, I'd seen like loads of reels and stuff of people saying, "Oh, it's one of the best experiences you'll ever have." Like when you run across like Tower Bridge and you run past certain landmarks and stuff, the noise and all this. And I thought, what a load of bollocks! It's just people kissing its ass. But it was unreal. Like I had headphones in and had music on, but I turned my music right down, and I thought I'll just turn it back up like when I'm in between bits where it goes a bit quiet. Didn't turn it back up for the full race. Like it was just nah. And ran across Tower Bridge, and obviously I was running for Maggie's, and I knew Maggie's had like a cheer point at the end of Tower Bridge, where the missus and the Ben were and stuff. They were standing with Maggie's and stuff. So I knew kind of that was about halfway. But the noise when you go across Tower Bridge, it was absolutely rammed. It was unreal, absolutely unreal. And then towards the end, I'm running along kind of the embankment, so you can see the London Eyes on your left-hand side, and Big Ben straight ahead of you. And I knew when you hit Big Ben, like you haven't got that. You've got, I think it's about a mile or something to go. Running along, I thought, Big Ben's getting fucking further away. Like, why is this not getting any closer? And then when we got past there, I was like, right, where they're hiding Buckingham Palace, because once I get to there, I've got 200 meters. You literally, Buckingham Palace is here, and you turn right, and then you're at the finish line. And then it just kind of appeared out of nowhere, and it was like, it's unreal, absolutely unreal. I'll be gutted if I don't get in next year.
Was it expensive?
No, because I did it through Maggie's, so.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
I think whatever the registration fee might be about 80 quid or something like that. And then obviously had to raise the £3,000, but I think raised just short of 7 now. So
that's class.
We've added on, including Edinburgh in a couple of weeks' time. So
yeah,
it was the best one I've ever done. It was unreal.
Any celebrities?
No. So I ran past the kid that you might see on social media that's raising awareness for dementia. He ran with a fridge on his back, 25 kilo fridge on his back. And then there's a guy online on Instagram called the King of Chemo. So he's got terminal brain cancer.
Oh, I've seen him, man.
Ran past him. He was running with he had a 10 kilo weight, like the plate on his front and his back, and was running around as well. I was like, it's bad enough. Like, the two aims were to not get beat by the kid with a fridge on his back and not get beat by the bloke dressed up as Daddy Pig. I was like, if I get beat off them, I need to sack it off.
Yeah, I've seen the video of you finishing though. You got beat by that kid dressed as an emoji.
No, I didn't. He started in front of me, so I caught him. I'm fuming he got me away though. Fuming he spoiled me photos at the end because he was in my way.
I know running's hard enough as it is. Like, I don't like running, but would you ever challenge yourself to that extent and like do something different or not?
No. Nah, not after the stupid Leeds to Newcastle one to raise the money for London. Like, that was bad enough. That was horrible.
Yeah.
Nah.
Oh, well,
I'll stick with marathons. That'll do.
How you been?
It's been daddy daycare for me. So, well, not day, well, day and night care. So I'm just glad to be in the shed and away from them.
Is that why you're shaking? Just broken.
Mate, it's just she came back from a time away, and it was like she went, "Oh, I'll come back. I'm gonna go to Lidl. I'll get stuff for tea, and I'll take the boys out just so you can watch the match in peace." She went out to get stuff for tea. She came back and she said, "I can't take the boys out anymore, but don't worry, we'll leave you alone."
Nah, it's not gonna happen.
Didn't happen. And then, honestly, and then every time United scored, it was Daddy, You give us a fright. Shut up, man. Honestly,
They just don't get it, do they?
like,
They don't get it.
Well, I was contemplating on whether you were actually watching the match because you were normally are quite chirpy between each other, and obviously when you went 2-0 up, nobody had said nothing. I was like, "Oh, they're watching it."
Nah, I was waiting for it all to go wrong.
Yeah.
We're 2-0 up and I'm still nervous. I'm like, nah, this is too easy.
We'll talk about it the podcast, but like, nah, I was a bit nervous. Like, how are you, Hunter?
Me, I'm fantastic. I've just been speaking to you there before we started recording, been camping with the family, which was no, it is. It was really good. Like, we didn't take me little girl. We just took Hooks, who's 4, and it was class on Saturday. But then 1 o'clock and the rain just woke us up. And do you remember when we went camping, Cam? When we did what race was it?
The Wolf Run.
The Wolf Run, and the water was just pissing on my heads. It was a bit like that, like with the condensation. So Justine woke up like huffing and hawing because her head was soaked, her pillow was soaked, like it had been dripping out of her.
It's awful, isn't it? Like, your heart sinks when you hear the rain, and then you're constantly on edge, like where the leak's coming in. Like,
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. But I was even Googling at breakfast this morning, having me little bowl of cereal. I was like, how do you know if your tent's got a leak or if it's just condensation?
So hold on, that little conversation I had before the podcast started about like not taking your kids abroad because camping's much easier. You didn't even do it fucking properly. You left your little one at home.
Your kids at home.
Honestly, that's why you found it easy. You fucking left your baby at home. What's this fucking Home Alone? There's some bottles, kid.
I find camping really easy when I don't take the kids.
We only did that because obviously we knew it was going to be pissing down, so there's no chance. We're going to take both kids and the dog. It would have been a nightmare. Anyway,
that's what I said. Easy, piece of piss, that shit.
Aye.
I had my own tent and all, so they weren't one. I was.
Don't camping in a travel lodge.
Your tent didn't have a condensation problems. You're in the car.
I loved it yesterday. It was obviously the weather yesterday was class. It was just last night and today. But anyway, right, here we go. Back to it. Another spin of the wheel. Let's see what we get this week to talk about. Let's see how good this is going to be.
Oh, you haven't even changed your photo. You're half a job.
I thought I look fast.
Celebrate Glenn's achievement.
No, you're a fucking liar. You just forgot.
Yeah, I'll take it. Just let have me more.
What had it last week, Glenn? We slagged your little legs off.
Mate, I can't even defend myself. They look fucking pathetic.
Let's see. Your legs look like Mo Farah's arms.
Mate, I've done for marathon day. I've done more leg days than I've done in the past 5 years, and it makes no difference.
It's like the hot dogs, weren't they? Like, remember them last
Wait, I'll go on holiday. You're like, I'll do the hot dog photos, so you can put that in the middle.
Oh, did man.
Lasses have got more hair in the legs than you.
Yeah, I can't help it. It's got good legs.
He shaves them for speed.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
What the crack is today. See what wouldn't butcher. English Club Academies. What's the point?
That's a lot,
especially with everything that's happening around Chelsea, I guess, this season. But who should I come to first? Come on then, Cam. What's your thoughts?
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say Glenn.
Yeah, I've had 2 words if you want, I'll start.
I've had a long weekend with the kids. My brain's drained.
I'll start, yeah.
Go on then, Glenn.
What's the point? After today, Cobby made him. There's your point.
Mm.
He was good, wasn't he, today? Like,
oh, there was bits where they were getting kind of overrun when Liverpool tweaked it and stuff. But if you look at what he's played like since Carrick's took over, like, there's your reason why, because you find players like him. Like, if we had to buy a midfielder that does what he does, you'd be talking like 80, 90 million today, like. And I'm surprised he doesn't get more. He hasn't had more plaudits this season. I know he probably needs to score a few more goals and stuff, but the way he's kind of adapted to play in that slightly deeper role but I thought today, he was superb. I thought he got on the ball really well. Like he kept the ball, he got them moving, and it took a bit of the pressure off Bruno to make everything go through him. But I think when you find players like that, and then you get the players where they come through the ranks and stuff, and I'm trying to think of the likes of, I know he kind of left, but the likes of sort of Dan Burn, who was obviously at Newcastle and then did the rounds of everywhere else and then came back. But you can't buy their passion. Like you buy a foreign player, they don't care whether they win the derby or not. Well, they do care to win the derby, but they don't have that same hunger and attitude for it as the homegrown players.
A bit like a Stephen Taylor for Newcastle.
As a throwback of someone who's probably his passion for it probably outweighed his ability, and that's what got him by a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And then you obviously always get like the kind of golden generation, I suppose, a bit like the class of '92. I mean, it very rarely happens, but you see these players come through, and they're just a revelation. Like I don't even put a price on it. I know it's probably harder for them to come through now, but then when they do come through, you know they're good enough, because it's not just playing kids for the sake of playing kids. Like if you've got a kid coming through in like Man City's academy, like so Phil Foden, he has to be good enough, otherwise he's not going to play.
Yeah, I think the other side of that is there's a lot of youth that don't get given the chance because of how much you've got to get a result.
Yeah.
So they're in fear. A lot of managers are in fear of actually putting those players in to give them a chance. Like if you look at a prime example of that at the moment, with Serie A, there's very, very little like Italian youth product coming through. And you've seen what the Italian national team's been looking like for the last few years.
I was just going to say it reflects in the state of the national team. Yeah,
it does. Right. And you get all the people kicking off. I think, was it last week or the week before? I think across maybe 4 or 5 matches, there was only like a handful of Italians across like the whole, like each say 10 teams, a handful of Italians. And that's, I mean, you thought England was bad, but normally in the lower teams in the Premier League, there's like a lot of English players but it's hard. Like I get you need the results now, but you see what it does to the fans as well when they see somebody that's homegrown.
Yeah.
When they do something like Kobe Mainoo,
one of them,
he's got his new contract and then scored a goal a day. Trying to think of other like even like the Longstaffs at Newcastle. We went to that game when Matty Longstaff scored a goal.
Yeah.
And the fans was unbelievable. Like, it's just like that style of one of our own, like Harry Kane.
They're literally a fan. They're like a fan representative on the pitch.
Yeah.
And I think like the reason for sort of English academies as well is when now we're starting to see foreign clubs having a look at like who these kind of next ones are, the likes of so like Joe Bellingham going to Dortmund and stuff. And I know they're hoping it's just another Jude, but then there was rumours of was it McAtee from City was going to go? He was linked with moves abroad and stuff. So the foreign clubs are now thinking, well, hang on, like because the standard's so high and the money's so high, big in the Premier League, to get these kids that are on the fringes of the first team, they're probably decent players and they can get more game time with us.
Yeah, like Jadon Sancho.
Mm-hmm. Then you look at like I suppose probably one of the best examples of somebody leaving after having come through the academy and leaving to get more game times, Cole Palmer.
Yeah, he bet on himself, didn't he?
Oh yeah, because he knew he was good enough. But would he have? He wouldn't be playing. Would he be the player he is now if he stayed at City? Probably not.
Nah, I don't think he'd play that much.
Foden very rarely plays, but he'd walk into 90% of the teams in the Premier League by easily.
I think another way of looking at it though is if you look at how much money. I mean, obviously we don't know exactly how much money, but if you look at how much money English clubs in the Premier League spend on their academies, obviously you know from our playing days, like if there's under 9s, under 11s, under 12s, like all the way up. all the way to your under 21s, which was obviously your old reserve team. But the amount of money that clubs are paying out for coaches, obviously everything that comes with that, and we're only naming a handful of players. So obviously with the question we've put in there, English club academies, what's the point? I guess it's like, why isn't there more? And I know you mentioned Italy, Cam, but I think Italy, it's mad that they aren't doing it because they haven't got the money English clubs have got.
Yeah, I know.
The top
Yeah.
six have got the money to go and spend and say, oh, well, we've got the academy there, just kind of, hopefully someone comes through, but we'll go and buy other players. Whereas Italy, on the other hand, like, they should be doing it a hell of a lot more. Like, they haven't got the financial backing that English clubs have got.
The lesser Spanish clubs as well, outside of the kind of the main sort of 3 or 4, you would think they'd be doing it. And I don't know enough about Spanish football to say that they're not. But I think when you look, there's always going to have to be academies, because as soon as you stop, like, the national team will plummet. Like, you need those. I think there's just too much money in the Premier League now for the success rate to be probably as good as it maybe might have been. I mean, I don't know the exact figures, so it might not have been, the percentage might not have been that big back in the day, but it just felt different. It felt like there was more homegrown players in starting lineups than there is now.
Well, more English people anyway.
Yeah, but then I think that academy players, they're just a bit of a breath of fresh air, aren't they? You see Arsenal fans and they're putting Max Darwin in. Was he 16?
He's disgusting. Him, like, did you see the turn in his shot yesterday? He dribbled from like the halfway line, and then he got a little tangled with his quick feet. And
he's special, like it.
He is. And then the likes of the Lewis Skelly and stuff. I know he's still a very good player. I know he's a little bit kind of he looks like he's always got a red card in him for something daft. But they played him more in like midfield, kind of, I think, a bit like a Nico O'Reilly kind of mold. He kind of sat in because they dropped Zubimendi, didn't they? But he was brilliant.
Yeah. Cam, I'll come to you on this one, to be fair. With obviously the amount of money that clubs are spending, why aren't players getting as we see it, a big of a chance to like perform in the Premier League or get into that starting 11? Is it down to the foreign managers? Like, you look at like Glenn said, they're the Spanish league, Barcelona. They get someone with that. Obviously, they've been brought up in the academy. I guess you can say it's a bit different because the academy's world known to be unbelievable, and their players just get thrown in at 16, 17-year-old like that Kabassi, the centre half, which wouldn't happen in England. Like, do you think, is it because of foreign managers and not enough English managers, or what do you think?
I think it's results. I think there's so much pressure to get wins for more money. It's just money. That's all the owners want, really, is more money. Especially like the likes of outside the so-called top 6, which I don't know what the top 6 is anymore. But those sort of clubs that aren't really threatened with relegation, they're not good. They're more likely to spend on a random Argentinian who scored 10 goals than put their youth product in that's been banging them in, maybe got 30 goals in the reserves, just because he's foreign and got a different name.
Yeah. So
maybe.
Yeah, I do kind of agree with that. But
like, if you look at Everton, right? You've got that Beto and Barry. You're telling me there's not a kid in the reserves that's got a better touch than them two clowns?
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, though, when they did have somebody that was very good in their academy, he went straight in their team.
Yeah.
That's a while ago, that, though.
He was special, though.
But that was 2003.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that's kind of like just popped in my head there. Do you think the competitiveness of the Premier League stops them as many coming through? And the reason I'm saying this is because you think of like Barcelona, they put Gavi in, Pedri in, Lamine Yamal, and I know they're special players, Kubasi as well. Like, I totally get they're special players and stuff, but they always seem to have quite a few in there. Is it because it's more often than not, it's only them or Real Madrid that win the league?
No.
So
because they've got to be good enough to then win the league.
They do. But I think as a league, I think the Premier League seems a lot more competitive than Spain.
I think the physicality could be one of the things that holds people back. Because you've seen when United hide in a few in the time with like the end of Amarim, Fletcher, when they had the two Fletchers who were terrible. That Shea Lacey, he got given a couple of chances, but then as soon as he had the red card, he did, but he was very lightweight. Like,
but I think he was positive, whereas the two Fletchers were very sideways and safe. And
yeah, they didn't take the chance, not at all.
Nah, you want somebody with a little bit of a kind of, I suppose they've got to have the attitude as well. Like they've got to have the confidence just to come in a bit like a Downwin or a Manu and be like, give us the ball.
Yeah.
And they've got to bet on themselves. Like, and I think they're probably the ones. Like Phil Foden's exactly the same. Cole Palmer, like, give us the ball, I'll do something with it.
On the flip side, though, Glenn, with obviously we're talking about them wanting to bring players through. With PSR being or whatever it's called, is it changed its name, hasn't it? Is it?
I know what you mean, though. Yeah.
PSR. With that involved, though, you'd think outside of your top six, who don't really give a shit about PSR because they've got enough revenues.
Yeah.
You'd think the lower clubs would want to bring academies through to kind of, that's their revenue. I guess if they find a gem. Trying to think of some examples off the top of my head, but you get me point, don't you? So I'm really surprised that they don't do it.
I'm surprised more clubs don't look at the top clubs' academies and think, right, who can we pinch?
Yeah.
Like you look at Aidan Heaven. So he came from Arsenal's academy. We paid £1 million for him. £1 million.
I don't understand that one at all, do you?
I'd never ever heard of him in my life. And so, right, he's another kid. Like, and it was in a time where we were buying like quite a lot of youngsters and stuff like that.
Because we got Cheeto Obi as well.
Yeah,
from Arsenal.
I think, why isn't he getting a game at Arsenal? Like, you can't tell me he's not as good as like the likes of Hincapie and that Mosquera. That Mosquera's not a player. Like, so I get he's not going to get in ahead of Saliba and Gabriel, but you can't tell me Aidan Heaven can't make their matchday squad.
Transfermarket.com, obviously, you've just said they spent $1 million on him, and he's now worth on Transfermarket.com 20 million. So why, like, that's a great example. Do you know what I mean? If someone that lower clubs should be, like you say, fishing in the market at your top six.
Those clubs that, like Cam was saying, that'll go and buy someone for like 10, 15, 20 million. That's when he's had a decent season in like Holland.
Yeah.
Like, looking at these kids who are on the fringes, but they're potentially never going to get a game. Start giving them game time. Like you could get them on the cheap, and then you could still have your model of selling them on. But you'll get them on the cheap, and then they might get a good couple of seasons out of them. They'll progress, get game time, and then you can flog them for absolutely boatloads because they're English.
So I'll put you on the spot with a little question then, Cam. I'll come to you first. So with Man United, obviously, who would you say is your favourite player that came through the Man United Academy, and who's one that you're looking forward to kind of seeing progress currently?
The one progress currently, you have to say Cobby.
Yeah.
He's the only one.
Obviously, I know with Man U there's a lot, so it is a difficult question, but in our era anyway.
Oh.
You got anyone, Glenn, while Cam's thinking?
Oh, my favourite Man United player of all time is Beckham, so I would always
pick him.
But I think that whole class of 92 was just special to have so many players come in the first team at the same time and all be of a
that's what I'm saying.
Standard. Like that's it just that's never going to happen again. Like you'll never get that. You might get the odd one or two every couple of years. But I mean, and you're looking at homegrown talent like.
But you look at that, like back in that era, like class of 92 and stuff, and look around the Premier League, like obviously at our clubs alone, Newcastle, Man U, and how many players were from that area. Like you look at obviously Newcastle with Shearer, Beardsley, Rob Lee, like people that are from that area. Do you know what I mean? Lee Clark. Like now, I mean, we've got Dan Burn, Lewis Miley, Murphy reckons he's a Geordie.
He's not though, is he?
No, he's not
though.
But you know what I mean? Like back then, you looked around your dressing room, and so I think it's missing. Obviously, I'm not saying the mix of foreign and players and like local players is bad, but I do miss the local feel.
I think
there'll come a time where it comes back a little bit though, especially as money tightens and stuff. Because there's only so many players you can buy, and when you look at what's coming into the Premier League now, like
Again, though,
it's
it's
very
that.
average. Like a lot of them, that's why the big clubs are buying proven Premier League players, because the stuff that's available abroad aren't that great.
See,
We're
that's why.
actually sending some of them back, the likes of Hoyland and McTominay and all that, who weren't brilliant Premier League players. I don't care what anybody says. Like Scott McTominay at Man United, he was all right, but he wouldn't be doing that in the Premier League, or he's doing at the minute. So I just think the standard of imports isn't as good. So maybe more clubs will start looking at kind of their academy or each other's academy and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's pure profit as well. It's daft not to.
It brings us back to the point, like English club academies, like what's the point? Because I feel as though everybody at the minute's taking up the let's call it the Brighton model. Let's go to different countries, different clubs that nobody's ever heard of. Get these players in, bring them over, and sell them at a profit. Rather, like I feel as though a lot of clubs are taking that model rather than moving forward,
Risky,
rather than going for that big player and just getting spending 500 grand or $1 million on a player. What's that a big club?
But it worked for Leicester.
Yeah,
they had a good mix, and they found some diamonds.
Didn't they? I mean, finding
like
Kante,
Mahrez.
Well,
like even
someone was in like the French second division. Was it?
Was
it both Kante and Mahrez, wasn't it?
But they also had the likes of Okazaki, or what's it called? Okazaki.
Shinji Okazaki. Yeah.
It's hard to say that. But they also had a lot of like English players that had come through the youth, like the likes of Danny Simpson, who came through United's academy and had a good Premier League career. Danny Drinkwater, like
Paul Brighton,
Vardy came through like all the leagues. I think that's also what's missing is like United under like Fergie, the 90s, 2000s. There's loads of players that have been given the debut at United, maybe had a handful of games, not being good enough for United, but had a great career. Like Jonathan Green and Danny Simpson. Do you know what I mean? Like even like the likes of Richie Delat. Like he had a good career. Do you know what I mean?
Played loads of league games, not an outstanding one, but a solid, like lots of league appearances. Like
but even like I mean, what's his name? Like you got fleeting appearances. Like, was it Adnan Januzaj and Makeda? They've done nothing ever since, did they?
No.
But they're given a chance. Like Januzaj, I think his ego got in the way, which is a problem with the youth academy.
Possibly too much too soon.
Is there any youth academy players from? We'll go back to United, I guess, because you know more about them. That you're a bit gutted that came through the academy, left and done so well, and you're like, fuck, I wish kept a hold of him. Was there any players stick out on that front?
The one that sticks out is the one that will fucking spend 80 million to try and buy him back would be Pogba. Like the biggest name. Like he left and became this star at Juventus. But I mean, the other one was that Ravel Morrison. Everyone, all the United players, coaches all say he had like more ability than all of them. But he just didn't have the attitude.
That was on him, wasn't it? Not the wasn't on the club, because enough clubs tried it and couldn't get a tune out of him. Like or like West Ham, he kind of got a bit of a run of games and he'd play, then he'd go AWOL for like 2 weeks and stuff. So the kid was clearly just a bit of the
one that sticks out in my mind is but he went to use is like I remember the whole time I was like, he'll come to eventually. When he stops playing as Michael Carrick. Just being a local lad, I was like, he's like obviously peaked, and I'd love to have seen him in a Newcastle.
He's one of us now.
He just fell in love with United, didn't he?
Yeah,
he did though.
I know he did. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like with talk about like local boys, he's one of those where you think, fuck. What could have been?
Usually, if they're good enough and if they're Newcastle fans, they'd end up back there. But
back in the day,
he was a Newcastle fan, wasn't he, as well?
Yeah,
he just signed at like the perfect time, and he was exactly what they needed, and he played every week, and they won everything. So why would you ever leave?
You look at
such a good player.
Shearer, Woodgate, Gaza. Like back in the day, if you supported the club, they always end up playing for them at some point. Do you know what I mean?
Shearer shouldn't have. He might have got some medals if he'd
But Carrick was one of them that supported the club and never came back.
So who's your favourite that came? Who's your favourite and current favourite from Newcastle?
My favourite,
Like all time?
Shearer.
He didn't come through the youth academy though.
Well,
ones that haven't left, like
with
they've
Balls
come
and
through
Boys
and
and
stayed.
Southampton.
He didn't come through your youth academy.
Nah.
He was at your boys' club. Doesn't count. I can only think of like
my current
that's probably a club legend.
My current one would be Lewis Miley. I think he's got quite a high ceiling. Well,
he's a good player though.
He's like a 5 out of 10. He is. Nothing stands out. He's not good at anything. He's not bad at anything.
I think he's reliable. And then the games where he filled in, he had that stint of playing right back. I thought he was very good at right back. I thought he did really well.
He's filling out as well, to be fair. Who were you thinking of, Cam? Club legend?
I'm trying to think, like, if your people that came through the youth and done well, Shola Amiobi.
Shola.
Aye.
Like, in our time, I'm trying to think, like, early Premier League years.
Him and Sammy.
Did Rob Lee come through the youth, or did he buy him?
Not sure.
He wasn't from there, was he? So
no.
I think Shola's probably like that cult hero status, isn't he? Like,
he is. Was never like, he was never.
I would say Amiobi, like he is proper cult like status. Like, isn't he called the Macklin Slayer?
Yeah.
I suppose like the other side of this whole thing. What's the point?
Yeah.
And the main thing is what we got is why we put this in the wheel is the Chelsea, like their Chelsea academy, whatever that is. That is what's wrong with English academies.
I don't think they even have an academy. They did have, like, it feels like now the model is we're going to buy as many potentially promising young players, and we'll buy enough of them. We'll buy enough of them. Some of them will turn out all right, and we'll keep them. But we'll stockpile them, and then we'll flog them. And they're very good at flogging them, like, for more than what they paid. Which I don't know how, because some of them are absolutely dog shit. But if you think back, like a few years ago, they had the likes of Jody Morris came through, John Terry came through.
Even most recent, I had Abraham Mount and it was the centre half.
I had like Josh McEachran, who was always like kind of floating around the first team. So historically, they've always had the odd couple trickle through, whereas now it just seems like they're just going to go with this. We're going to have as many players as we can. A few will be decent, we'll keep them, and the rest will just kind of flog. Like that's somewhere where they were trying to get rid of about 12, 15 players, and they had like, these are the ones. Was it Maresca? These ones I'm going to keep. There was 15 players like training on their own. It's not how you do it, man. It's stupid.
Again, the whole thing with academies, so them players you're talking about, they'll all be getting paid 40, 50, 60 grand a week, like at 18 years old. Do you know what I mean? It's like Garnacho, like we spoke about, like, fuck me, like the ego on that kid for no reason whatsoever. And he was getting paid a fortune since he got in the academy team. And
I do feel sorry for the I do, I suppose. I feel sorry for the players they've got, like Chelsea, and they've sent out on loan, and they're currently doing all right, and then they've brought them back. Like it's happened to two of them, where they've been actually doing well. Yeah, like I think one was at Dortmund and one was somewhere else. Doing well. They've brought them back, and neither have played.
Yeah.
Like their experience.
Leave them on loan, let them play.
But then I don't feel sorry for them on the other hand, because you fuckers knew what you're dealing with when you signed. You just seen the big boatload of money in your contract for 8 years.
There's probably pros and cons.
Sign it though, wouldn't you?
There's probably pros and cons for both. But if you had a choice, would you? I know what you're probably going to say. Would you rather have been kind of taught and brought up in the old kind of, like you say, the beginning era of the Premier League academies, as in you're washing people's boots, like the dog end, dirty end of it, kind of brought up properly, we would say, or now, but you're going to get all the money now. So there's I know there's pros and cons of both, but who would you go with, Glenn? What would you rather do?
I'd do it the old way, because I think they appreciate it more when they do get their opportunities. I think the prime example of too much too soon and ego would be Garnacho. And I think he's admitted it as much in himself, but he thought at 20 he should be playing every week when he was bang average quite a lot of those weeks. There's no chance he'd clean anybody's boots.
I know.
But when you look at the likes of, you think like a Nicky Butt, for example, who was a very, very good player, like wasn't starting every week, wasn't going and braying on Fergie's door saying I should be starting every week because he knew he wasn't, but he was like, but I've got a role to play. And I just think that's gone. I think like it kind of just mirrors the world. Everyone's just gone a bit fucking soft, haven't they?
Aye.
Like you can't put a bit hard graft in, or you can't like have to earn something. It's just given to you. Like
you can't bully somebody.
The bullying, like don't maybe put them in the tumble dryer and all that shit. But like, there's nothing wrong with. There's nothing wrong with scrubbing pros' boots. Like, get it done. Sweep the changing rooms. Like, earn it.
The thing is, though, like as well, you know, when you hear the stories of them doing that, and they're all like, "Oh, I was cleaning these boots," like, and like.
He left us a
season, he left us a pair. No, like at the end of the season, he left us a pair, and I'm like, oh, I was like absolutely buzzing.
Like it was 20 quid at Christmas and all that. Yeah,
like that's class. Like that's what it should be. You're a fan of the game. Like you
now those academy players are on like $1,000 a week.
Yeah,
20 quid now. Like, yeah.
But can you imagine if you were like when we were growing up and you had trying to think. So like you got in the team at the same time Shearer's there. And you got to clean Shearer's boots, you'd be buzzing, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely.
I know you got your dad to clean yours so you can see it out.
I know.
I think it develops those relationships as well. So when you do get into the first teamers there know actually he's put the graft in, he's worthy of it. And
or just the general chat.
Well, like,
or the general chat where like
being around and stuff. Yeah,
I think that's why the disconnect a lot of the time though between fans and academy players is sometimes isn't there, because back in the day you knew what they had to do and they knew how hard it was and how hard that work. Now I'm not saying it's hard because it's not saying it's easy, because it's not. It's obviously hard to make it at the top level, but I think a lot more things are given to them. And it's not as hard to kind of make a name for yourself now. You could create a quick YouTube or podcast. You've made 1 or 2 appearances, you can all of a sudden take off.
Well, look at that that JJ Gabriel for United that's getting like all the social media hype. He could good easily. He does look very good.
He looks very good.
He could easily turn out to be shit in 2 years' time. Do you know what I mean? Everything about him, like everything's going. Oh, he's going to be the next wonder kid.
Yeah, I'm excited about him.
Might get turned. You're getting excited that, but his head could get turned.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, and I think this is probably the ones that make it.
I think that held them back, I think
their attitude.
Shall I give you another one that's already made it without even kicking a ball in the Premier League? Is what's the Liverpool signing? Is it the centre half Leone,
the Italian one?
Oh, the Italian kid.
Can't remember his name now, but so he's obviously not kicked the ball for Liverpool yet. And there's just been loads of pictures of him working out. Have you seen the images of him working out in the gym? And
and he's put a little bit of the size on now.
Yeah, and he's not injured. Absolutely massive and jacked.
He's not, man. He looks still skinny. It was just like the side angle.
He looks jacked. It looks a better angle. I would say that, but mine still sticks out when I go to the
gym. Are your tits jiggling out?
I think the ones that do well are the ones that have the best attitude, because
but loads of them already played in the Serie A though as well.
Yeah, he's not a true academy product.
Everyone sees the next Virgil. Look at the size. Like next Virgil van Dijk. He's got everything going. Kick the ball. Yeah.
I think that's just like how things are now. It's a bit like if someone's good on FIFA, then they have to be good in real life. Like it goes back when back in like the 90s when we used to play Championship Manager, and Ibrahima Bakayoko was an absolute worldie striker, and Everton signed him. And you're thinking, you've signed him on the batter champ, man. Like there is no way anybody knew who this kid was, and he was dog shit.
Yeah,
but now it's
Freddie Adu
on FIFA.
Freddie Adu. He was like the one, like that's the one kid in it.
Yeah, the
one. You think the wonder kid on FM. And he had a couple of like mazy runs in the youth, and then all of a sudden he was a global phenomenon, did absolutely jack shit.
Look at Frimpong for Liverpool. So he's absolutely rapid, everybody who signs him for their ultimate team on FIFA, he is the most average fullback I've seen in a long time. He's just quick. He does fuck all else.
Yeah.
He's
But
terrible.
because he's good on FIFA, everyone thinks, he must be class. It's just social media and like video games just skew everything. But just nip back to like what I was saying about people's attitude and stuff, and that's why they made it. Like the point you made about Cole Palmer, he bet on himself. He was confident enough to do it. But you hear him and you think there is absolutely no airs and graces about you. You go home and you have your chippy tea, like,
Aye.
and play on FIFA and do like you don't see him out. Like you don't like Grealish falling asleep when he's been on the piss. You see it, you don't see Cole Palmer doing that. Like, I mean,
To
you
be
barely string
fair,
a
though,
sentence together for half the
I was
time. So
going to
ordering a
say,
pint might be difficult.
to be fair, there's no about Cole Palmer. Like,
No, there
I
isn't. He is literally just a footballer. End of. Like
he gets to his front door and asks for directions. And
aye. But
Yeah, there's not a lot there, is
he
there?
had the attitude, didn't he? He wasn't distracted, and he just said, "I'm going to leave."
I can't see kind of distract somebody like that.
Hey,
But
stop being
still,
nasty.
he bet on himself, didn't he? So I think there's still a reason for academies. You still get the odd gem, and it gets fans off their seats when you see one of them coming through. Like Covey scoring the winner today. Like if Bruno had a score, it'd been good, because it's Manu. You're like, just hits that a little bit.
After he's just signed his contract as well.
Yeah,
perfect
especially
timing. That
whole redemption story. Like wasn't playing under Amarim, gets back in the team, gets a new contract, scores a goal, like beats level.
I'd love one of them T-shirts now, the free Kobe Manu one.
Yeah, or freed Covey.
Right.
Michael Carrick needs to wear one of them. Michael Carrick needs to freed Covey. That'll do.
With a picture. You seen the one with Dobby from Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Because obviously Dobby and Cobby. He's like, I'm free with a sock.
Yeah.
It looks class, man.
Be class.
That was good though. So English club academies, what's the point? I think we've summed it up quite well. I think there's definitely pros, definitely cons. It's working at some clubs and not working at others.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like to get back. Like I always like to think like it's gonna one day, like you said, Glenn, get back to the good old days of players actually earning a bit of respect rather than given it. But
clubs need to trust them more. I think they will when they start feeling the pinch of money and all that sort of stuff. Give them more game time. Trust them. If you think they're good enough and they've been there for 10 years, give them a game, man.
Yeah. Right, moving on. That was quite a longer discussion I thought it was going to be when it first popped up.
I thought it was going to be a 2-minute job, like going, sorry, that.
Bit wet me on a Tuesday night. Anyway, let's move to was it Tuesday night, Wednesday night football?
Tuesday was the PSG one.
Champions League.
Yeah. Did either of them teams put a back four out?
How good was it, man? Though? It was so good.
And that like they're like international defenders, and they were just AWOL for 90 minutes. It was unreal. It was just a shootout.
I remember.
Were they AWOL or were like the attacking players just on point? Because all the passing was crisp. Like, you know that you've seen it today, like Liverpool and United, and you'd see like players giving it away or the passes were shite. Like Kvaratskhelia, every time we got the ball, I thought, yeah, something's going to happen.
Mate, I wouldn't blame defending, mainly because there was no defence to blame. Like, both teams literally pushed that high up. It's like Sunday morning, like, as in, like, you look up and you're like, fucking hell, my mate's on the ground over there because he just had 6 tabs. Like, he's drank fucking too much the night before. And you were literally you're standing there 1 against 3. And that's what it was like every time. So I don't think the defenders had a chance.
It was a shootout between both teams' front kind of 4. I mean, it was brilliant. I think PSG will come away from it a little bit disappointed though, from the position that they were in.
Yeah,
that they didn't they've let them back into it. Like coming away, Bayern Munich would be quite happy coming away just 1 down from that, going back for the home leg, because they can score goals. Bayern, like they're a very good team. I think they're probably better defensively than PSG are.
Isn't it mad though? Like if you think about it, it's like 1-0.
It is 1-0 from the position PSG had. It should have been dead and buried, and that's when you've got to think game management. Like and I know it was brilliant to watch, but a part of us just thinking, just keep the ball. Just
What
keep
was
the ball.
it? It
You've
went
got it. You've got the
5-2,
tie
didn't it?
one, 5-2. I keep the ball. You've won it. And then they let them score 2, and then all of a sudden it's like it's game on again.
How good were some of the goals though? Like
Ah.
even like, do you know the last one was Diaz?
Mhm.
His touch and composure.
Yeah,
Mate,
he's gone up a level since he's gone there as well. Like I
what
wasn't sure
what a player,
about it
man.
because but he's just up his level. And Michael Olise, like
He's up his level. And
he's
yeah, I know he's up his
phenomenal.
level and we're going to praise him, but he's a prick, him like.
He's a
Him.
weirdo.
Have you
And
seen all this
no
thing of like,
emotion.
I know
Like,
emotion. He's playing on that. I bet he gets in, he gets a stiffy.
you see how did you see the thing where he's like when you don't know how to celebrate? And I think he looked at Harry Kane and then mirrored what Harry Kane did. Like he just looked awkward. He doesn't look. But I mean,
Who's the
you would
Bayern
take me
player
a
that tried to
team.
get a selfie with him and he just
Musiala.
was it Musiala?
Yes, yeah. He's a player
What
as well.
what do you like? I don't know if I get this feeling from Twitter when I read it about Bayern, but I feel as though a lot of people this Champions League season's got Bayern fever, if you want to call it that. Why
Yeah,
do
a
you
little
think
bit.
people want to see Bayern? Is it just because they're different and they're back on the scene and they're not been around for a while? Do you think?
I think it's because they're
I
good,
just
but I
think
think people always like someone
good to
different to
watch.
win, don't they? Like nobody wants PSG to go and win it again because they did it last year and it was brilliant. So, but Bayern's front players are
I think a lot of it's
very, very good.
got to do with Harry Kane. If I'm honest, I think if Harry
I
Kane
would
wasn't
like to
playing
see
for
Harry
them,
Kane win it.
yeah, if Harry Kane wasn't playing for them, I don't think the hype would be as big for Bayern to kind of push and go all the way. I think the country's kind of behind him just because he's that good, and yeah, we want him to come off the back of his club season on a high.
I mean, he's up his level as well. Like he looked good. I mean, we've all slagged him off playing for England, but when he's seen playing for Bayern, like he looks a different player.
Well, what about the Euros just gone when he's obviously scoring goals, but a lot of them were penalties and stuff. And I remember we
Yeah,
were sitting watching a lot of games together, and we were saying, "What's he doing? Why is he dropping? Why is he dropping deep? Like he's lost it. He's not there anymore." And I remember when Manu were linked with him, we're like, "Oh, should he go?" Like he's lost a half a yard of pace now. But you look at him now, and it's just he's I don't know. He's aging like a fine wine, and he had buying.
It
up
goes
his
to show
level.
though, as well though, he's got players around him. Like I would not on the same wavelength, but better Caldwell player.
Yeah,
Suit
no,
his
I
strengths
agree with
as well,
that.
don't they? They suit the fact that he comes deep and likes to get on the
Yeah.
ball.
Like they've got these people that are bobbing on, like the likes of Diaz and Elise,
Yeah.
coming on.
Because he always had
But
Son at Spurs, didn't he? Who would get him behind and stuff. So now he's got Diaz on one
that's just
side,
one though,
Elise
innit?
on the other, and then he's got Musiala as well. So at
Gnabry.
Spurs, yeah, when he comes off the bench, but like at Spurs, it was him or Son, and someone getting behind. So they had that partnership. But I suppose when you've got 2 or 3 others that are equally as good as you, like, he probably does get a little bit more space and time and to
Yeah,
do what he wants and stuff.
I
But
mean, he stood out in the Spurs team. I think he stands out in both teams for a different reason, didn't he? Spurs team
yeah,
because he was the main man. And Bayern, he's standing out there amongst like loads of world class
yeah.
players as well. So yeah,
I
It
just like
makes you
seeing
question.
English players go and do well. Do you like because you don't see many of them go abroad? So I like it when they
Yeah.
do go abroad and they do well. Like, good
yeah,
on 'em.
especially with the attitude he's got anyway. Right, do you just want to? Should we jump to the weekend Premier League football, or Cam? Do you want to have a little word about obviously your beloved Atalanta and how it's all going tits up there? What do you want to go to first?
You may as well go there now if you start on us. You little dafty.
So we'll move to these guys. Obviously, Cam's second love, Atalanta in Serie A, not doing great this season. He just wants to have
Them
a
two clowns.
quick vent. Let's hear it, then, buddy.
Mate, I was raging last night. The game was horrific, right? But Kirstovic, and I thought of it last night, and this is the reason why I wanted to bring it up. He reminds me of a Wish.com Jokeres. That's how bad he is. Like there was a stat I sent it to one we made about Jokeres that it's like something like there's an 81% chance that Jokeres is going to lose the ball within his first 3 touches. That's how mad's that? how stupid is that? But Kirstovic is worse. And that clown Palladino keeps playing him. Yes, he's had some goals like in the second half of the season, but he's gash. And then like last night, he took off Gamaka like 5 minutes into the second half and kept that clown on.
Aye. I think the biggest thing for you this season, like obviously other than the ways they're playing, is the fact that how big of a club Atalanta is in Italy, and looking at the table, and you aren't going to make any type of European football.
We're not going to have any European football. Do you know what the biggest thing that happened this season is? Lookman leaving in January.
Yeah.
Which, like, Zalewski's been really good, but he's not the same type of player as Lookman. Lookman will get the ball and run at your defence, and you'd also like make that running behind. Now we don't have anybody that runs in behind, not one. But yeah, I mean, trying to think of anyone that would run in behind. But the role started. You got Charles Duquetle, Scamacca, Kirstovic, Zalewski, like even your midfield, Edison, Darun. Like there's no pace at all. And it's just killed the second half of the season. I think we did well. Was it the last 16 of the Champions League to get through Dortmund? But then when we made that, Palladino made that stupid decision to change his whole formation. Atalanta's formation for God knows how long is the 5-3-2.
Yeah.
Or the 5-2-3, sorry. And he's decided to go 4-4-2 against one of the best footballing teams in the world and man-mark them all over the pitch.
Yeah. I think he'll get sacked. Looking at the manager merry-go-round as we always do, I think he'll go, and I think he'll do really well next year again, not having Europe. But it'll be obviously you've just had your stadium's just been done, finished, complete. Like he's such a big club and a big European name now. I think a lot of people obviously recognise the name, the team Atalanta. So for he's not to be in any European competition next year, it would probably be just as big as Chelsea not making European football this year, if not like on a similar level.
I don't know. I think for us it'll be a big summer because Edison's supposed to get on his way to Atletico Madrid. Darun's not getting any younger. Jim City's not getting any younger.
Yeah.
Like we've got that problem up front with Kirstovic and then Scamacca not staying fit. It's going to be a big summer.
Would you say, looking from the outside, Glenn, it's a fair comparison with Atalanta and Chelsea, looking at the teams above them and that, like both not making Europe?
To an extent, I think Chelsea is probably a bit more of a disappointment given their spending power and how much they invest in the squad versus some of the teams in Italy and stuff.
Yeah.
It's quite nice to see different teams getting, like the whole Como story. Like it's good. It makes it more exciting. Like I genuinely hope one of the likes of Brentford or somebody like that gets into Europe in Bournemouth. I like seeing those clubs get in, and I mean, you look at Palace in the Conference League. Like it's good to see.
Yeah.
Even Forest and Villa now in the Europa.
Aye, flying. So I quite like it, and it mixes it up a little bit. Like they give it a good go. West Ham, when they won the Conference League a few years ago, like the difference it makes to like a fan base. Like David Moyes will be forever a legend for what he did there. I know it went a bit sour towards the end, but just the difference it makes to the fan base. It's nice to see different clubs get in there, and rather than just the same ones every year. I quite like seeing Tottenham suffer because
I agree.
shit.
I guess that leads on to the Premier League, to be fair. Friday night, obviously Leeds picking up a massive result. Just jumping in if you just want to say anything about them, but I'll just quickly run through.
For 3-1, that was a shit game.
I didn't watch it, to be fair. Was it bad, was it?
It was boring. It was just two shit teams.
Good result for them, though. I think that's it. I think it's out of West Ham and Tottenham now. I think Leeds are kind of out not mathematically, I don't think, but I don't see West Ham and Tottenham winning the last 3 games. Do you know what I mean?
Spurs have just won at Villa now.
Leeds are above. They've got 7 points ahead of West Ham with 3 games to play.
I think it's between West Ham and Spurs now. I think Forest have shown enough recently to go and get results when they put 5 past Sunderland and stuff. They're picking up points and looking looking fairly handy. I think it's West Ham or Tottenham.
Do you know
It's
the
going to be the least shit will stay up.
The interesting thing about the games now, normally you have teams that haven't got a lot to play for playing against your relegation sides, and people are like, oh, they're going to throw it, play the kids, they're already on holiday. You look at the Premier League now, anywhere between, like you say, 13th, 14th, can still technically make European football.
Yeah.
So every club's got something to play for.
Yeah, I think Sunderland were only 4 points off Europe or something, wasn't it, before?
Yeah.
So it's good how tight it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, Tottenham going to Villa and winning today, that's a big sign, especially after they got a win last week at Wolves, didn't they?
Yeah.
So maybe De Zerbi's kind of style and is kind of he's very much like no negativity, isn't he? He's just trying to change the mentality and stuff. Having Maddison back on the bench today is probably a big thing. So a couple of wins, like all of a sudden they look favourites to stay up over West Ham, but I think
that's what I mean.
I think everyone wants Spurs to go.
It's swung in two ways, hasn't it? Because you look at Brentford and West Ham fighting for their lives. Brentford can still make Europe. So, and then same with Spurs and Villa. Like Villa's fighting to get Champions League, and it's kind of worked the other way. And Spurs are the ones fighting for life, and they've getting the win.
Villa have been shit recently, though.
Good. Yeah, I mean, the result works for us. I'm a little bit disappointed in the fact that it meant Spurs pick up the points, but it works for United, so we'll take it.
Obviously, back onto me worries of last week. Glenn, obviously, weren't on. I was Cam was laughing at us, but I was very worried about Newcastle going down.
Never ever gonna happen.
I know, but it was mathematically possible still, and I just couldn't. Honestly, I couldn't see us getting a win. That was me problem. I couldn't see where we were going to win.
I didn't think it would be Brighton either.
No,
I thought that would have a little bit too much, but Brighton normally do quite well. But fair play.
I'm happy with that 3 points.
Looks like Howe's going to be in for next season as well.
I've seen that.
Big summer in there. Big summer.
You know what
really with all the people that are leaving and the ones that are rumoured to be being kind of cashed in on. Could end up with needing 8 to 10 players at this rate. So that's a whole nother podcast, I think.
What really worries us, buddy, obviously on the Howe staying is I think 60 to 70%, maybe more, of fans had already checked out with him and were ready for a new manager. So he's been given the kind of, yes, you're here, it's your build again, you've got next season. It could go sour very quick. Doesn't matter who if we play Chelsea, Man U, Liverpool in our first 3 games of the fixtures, it's unlikely, but we did. We got beat first 3 games of the season. It could get nasty.
Pressure then.
Then you've given him all the time in the summer to build his squad.
Yeah. It could just be a load of bollocks that they just want them to finish well, so that maybe he's not wanting the players to down tools on him and saying he's still going to be here next year. But actually 2 weeks into the summer, be like, nah, it's not working. See you later.
I think
just wanted to make sure that the players kind of kept going, thinking he was going to still be there.
Yeah.
You never know.
I think behind the scenes, mate, I think he's got a lot more power in that club than people think.
He's got a lot of credit in the bank.
Not just that though. I don't think he's a bit I'm not saying he's obviously standard of Alex Ferguson stuff, but I think he's got his finger in every pie in the club. I don't think it's just a case of sacking him.
Yeah, especially after last summer, because the recruitment was him and his brother, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, he brought in Ross Wilson.
Very much on him.
He brought in Ross Wilson, obviously, from Forest. So it's like a lot of his people are in higher positions, but anyway, good win for Man U today. I didn't see how he's played, but class win to cement third. I would have thought for the season.
Should have been
hope.
Dead and buried at half time that game.
Yeah, should have been comfy. The second goal we gave them, I mean, the first one was bad enough. Ahmad, he's really pissing me off at the minute. He offers fuck all going forward, and he's just been shit recently. I was quite glad to see him not play. I'm a little bit gutted if Šeško's injured, because I thought he was doing really well, and he's kind of getting better every week. And Ahmad needed to come out because he has been crap. And then the first thing he does is play an absolutely horrific square pass across the middle of the pitch and just sets them on their way. And then Maguire and Dalot conspire to not close Szoboszlai down and just let him pass it through Dalot's legs. But either way. But the second goal, and I'll forgive him because I think Lamens has been one of the signs of the season, pound for pound. of any team in Europe. He has been absolutely superb. But that today was something you'd expect of Onana. That pass was never on. He's misplaced the pass. It was like literally a pass right in front of him. It was never on, and he still missed it. Aye, but even then, like even if you take McAllister out and he stays there, the pass still isn't actually going to the United player. So
No,
I think away from him.
I think he's going to go for one, but then he obviously he sees McAllister doing this and changes his mind, and he just fucks it up. It is bad. It is a bad error.
Stick to what you've been doing. Since he's come in, there's been little elements of we'll play out from the back, and then if it's not on, we're just going along. Like stop fucking about with it. But in fairness to them, they got themselves back in. Like they didn't. Liverpool didn't really threaten. We gave them both goals. They didn't have a lot. There was no point where you kind of thought, shit, like we're under the cosh here. It's like backs against the wall. But Mainoo's goal was good. Like it was good. It was a good win. It was a big win.
What do you think? Do you think Slot's got to go?
Don't care.
Nah, I think they'll keep him. But yeah, I'm not honest. Like again,
do you not think like just watching when I watch bits of it today, like obviously between having the kids and obviously watching Liverpool over this season, to be fair, it's what I said. Yeah, I don't know how they're so high up. I can't remember watching them and ever being like really impressed with them this season.
No. They've been incredibly lucky with injuries like to their front players and stuff, like Isak breaking his leg. Then he comes back and Ekitike does his Achilles. Like so and then Isak's injured again, Salah's out today and stuff. So
playing Woodman, what's he called?
Freddie Woodman in goal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not asked. Like, I'd quite happily see them plummet, but
shall we discuss that handball? It was a handball.
Oh, it was Mrs. Seshko must be very happy with them fingers.
Oh, the spin on that ball.
Inconclusive.
But do you know when you look at it, like that originally, right? I was like kicking off. I was like, "There's no way. How can you give handball for that?" But then, when you actually see that angle,
like,
when you see the angle, and he goes like this, and the ball just comes off.
Yeah, it's the angle of the camera to the right of the goalpost when you like.
Yeah.
You just see it change direction. You're like, you bastard.
But the spin on the ball doesn't look. But then the more you watch it, you're like, it's like not like an illusion. You're like, did that ball spin faster or did it not? And you're like,
but then like when you see, like, how can you not see that it's changed direction?
Because we're debating now like certain angles. So unless
but that angle, one angle that clearly shows it hits his finger. His finger actually moves.
But there's more. But then there's more angles which it doesn't look like it. So I think they were right not to do anything with it, and it works in our favour. So fuck them.
True.
I thought we should just bring it up. Trying to remain unbiased, but I don't care.
I'm going to get a couple of predictions off you before we go to Glenn's banger of the week.
Filth of the week.
Filth of the week.
Filth of the week. You like that, Glenn? I know you don't pay attention to anything apart from doing this on a Sunday, but we've renamed it the Filth of the week.
Filth of the week.
I mean, when we talk about it, you wouldn't say it's filthy. Oh, there's part of it is. I'll not spoil it.
Because you've picked a shit goal, but anyway. Predictions. Do you think Arsenal are going to go through or Atletico? Come to Cam first. Go on.
Sorry.
Well, Glenn's picked Arsenal. How
then?
I want Atletico, but I think Arsenal I think it'll be another boring game.
Aye.
They've got to come out and play.
As well.
Atletico Madrid have to come out and play like this. The middle of the second half when they started closing people down and stuff, because the first half was dreadful.
Yeah. I thought Arsenal were unlucky in the away leg. I thought it was a penalty on Eze.
Yeah, it was.
I just would have. That's typical Arsenal this season. I'd 2 penalties to win the game like that. That's sums Arsenal up. Set pieces, penalties, like just win the game.
I think having watched them at the weekend, like and the performance they put in against Fulham, they won it at Atalanta. I actually thought they probably should have gone to try and score 4, 5, 6.
Do you think they played well?
I think they did in the first half, but I thought
Fulham were horrific.
Aye, they were, but I think having Saka back makes such a big difference to how Arsenal play because Madueke is shite. Saka's the only one that can do something a little bit different, like you can go both ways. But I thought the game was won by half time. I would have liked to have seen them kind of try and go and get 5, but they subbed off
Would you?
all of the main players to keep them for midweek, and they won it like so easily. So
I thought
I think
Fulham was so bad.
yeah, but it Arsenal scoring goals and stuff. I think it just gives that little bit of confidence. They haven't exactly been free flowing up until then.
Yeah,
so.
it does. It was a good thing for Arsenal. I'm just saying, like, for me, I don't want Arsenal to win.
Expected more of Fulham.
So we're going.
Fulham are so bad.
So we're going Arsenal on Tuesday night. What about Wednesday night? Who are you saying? Go ahead, Glenn. PSG or Bayern?
I'd go Bayern.
You think
Bayern home advantage? Yeah, I think there's very little between them, but I think Bayern being at home, and I think they're probably a little bit better defensively than PSG are. So I think that.
Cam?
I'm going to be controversial just to flip it round and go PSG, just to be a prick, really.
I'd like Bayern.
I don't know. It's a flick of a coin, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Both teams have got players and managers that I like. I mean, I can't say I like company. I like him as a player, but as a manager, I'm not really fussed at the minute.
He dresses like a tramp and all.
I know. He's a unit, though.
Oh, I bet he puts away a good dinner, him, like. Doesn't he? Like, he's at the front of the buffet and you're standing behind him going, he's took all of them.
Sunday dinners like that, isn't it? Like,
I'll put it in my terms. I'll put it in my terms when I get to Greg's on the morning and there's 3 steak bakes left and I want one of them and he's in front. He's getting out 3 steak bakes.
Why are you lying? You want all 3?
Well, exactly. I'm not getting them in front of him.
He gets 2 places at Toby Carberry, him.
It's
pretend it's for someone else.
At the same time, yeah.
I'll have all 3 meats.
Yeah.
So that gives we an Arsenal finalist with I'd say Bayern.
Arsenal Bayern final would be good, you know. I think any final would be good. I think there's
my little thing, the story, man. The story. Bayern Arsenal, Kane scores the winner, Spurs go down.
Ooh.
That would be good.
Put a bet on that.
No, I would. I'll tell you about a bet. I put a bet on the United game today. You know when Liverpool got the first goal, Szoboszlai, and you know that record. I always get worried when we're winning at half time because that record of never lost the game. I always get worried now. So I put a bet on Liverpool to win 3-2. What was the other one? 3-2, and Ahmad to get to foul twice, but Ahmad didn't jack shit, and we won it. But honestly, I was going to come back with 600 quid.
Nearly.
I'm glad you lost your money.
Me too.
Last one, Villa Forest. Doing Villa will come back. Villa at home. Forest 1-0 up.
Nah,
Villa
I think Forest will do it.
What's happened to Villa? But
I think
they're
Forest
not on
might
form.
do it, you know.
Me too.
Forest have been playing well recently. I think it could be Forest. I'd like Forest.
Anderson is so good.
I prefer Forest.
Gibbs White as well. Like them two have kind of dragged that team forward. And
who Gibbs White?
Yeah.
Well, that striker's doing well as well.
Igor Jesus.
Yeah, he's done all right.
Whoever wins that game should win it. Like,
yeah.
The final. I don't know much about the teams, but is it Freiburg and Braga?
They should batter them.
About them, but yeah, they should. And yeah. Anyway, right, Glenn, do you want to tell a bit about your goal before we play it, or should we play it after?
Play it first.
I'll play it first.
Play.
Right. I'll stick it on. All right, Glenn, tell us why you picked it.
Well, if there was ever a goal that summed up the name of the podcast, that's it. Like that ball comes back out after I think it's Burmo had the shot at the edge of the box, and Bruno's volley back in. He's just stuck in an area. That's literally all it is. That's it. Just help it back in. That is literally it. We'll stick it in the mixer and then hope a big man gets on the end of it. And like, it's unreal, absolutely unreal. The magnitude of the game as well. We'd obviously been battered like quite a bit in recent years going Anfield, but Maguire popping up and just nodding that in to shut them up was unreal.
Did you just go on to win that game 2-1 as well?
Yeah.
Aye. It's the ball.
I was close between that one and then the one where he wins it against Lyon. That's another
I
one.
reckon there could be a few, like a Maguire catalogue of sticking in the mix of
Yeah.
goals.
But I thought for a true sticking it in the mixer, given how full the box was after because there'd been a corner, and just Bruno's just cushioned volley and by into the box, unbelievable, unreal.
It's Bruno's ball for me.
Aye,
We've talked
Phenomenal.
about how good he's been this season, but
so good.
he's ridiculous. Right, if you've got anything else to add, I think that's it for the day. I think we're nigh on about just over an hour, so I think we'll wrap it up.
There
If
you
you've
go,
got anything else to add, all good.
All good. Hope you
Been a
have a good
pleasure.
week.
Yeah, have a good week, lads, and we'll see you next week. See you
See you
later.
later.
Cheers, boys.